Harry and Meghan were once the shining stars of modern royalty, the couple that looked like they had stepped straight out of a storybook. Elegant, glamorous, and endlessly photographed, they seemed untouchable. Crowds cheered, cameras followed their every move, and the public treated them like proof that fairy tales still existed. But every fairy tale has shadows, and sometimes all it takes is the wrong light for the cracks to show. One moment in particular, captured at a charity fundraiser, peeled back the glossy surface and exposed something far less perfect. It was the kind of event where Harry usually thrived. He's always been a natural speaker, able to command a room with warmth and charm. The soldier turned humanitarian who blends duty with approachability. He stepped up to the microphone, smiling, confident, and ready to deliver what the audience expected. Then came the twist. Meghan followed him onto the stage, unannounced. The move was subtle, but it shifted the energy. Harry's face told the story before he spoke. He looked caught off guard, torn between instinctive politeness and genuine surprise, almost as if he hadn't expected or even planned for her to be standing beside him, and in that split second, the tension was palpable. Harry greeted the audience with his signature warmth. "Hi, everybody." But there was no acknowledgement of Meghan, no affectionate glance, no casual, "and here's my wife," not even a touch on the shoulder. She stood beside him, smiling awkwardly, waiting to be brought into the moment. But that invitation never came. It wasn't cruelty, it wasn't hostility, it was something quieter, and maybe more telling: absence. The silence where acknowledgement should have been. Then came the part that set the internet ablaze. Meghan leaned slightly toward the microphone, ready to share the stage. For a second, it looked like she expected Harry to pause to let her speak. But he didn't. He pressed on with his speech, holding firm to the spotlight. Meghan stepped, her expression flickering between frustration and embarrassment before retreating entirely. It wasn't explosive. It wasn't dramatic. It revealed something powerful. For a couple whose entire public identity has been built on unity, this moment was their first obvious misstep. And here's why it matters. Live events don't allow edits. In documentaries, interviews, and podcasts, the couple can shape their story. But on stage, in front of a live audience, every glance and hesitation is raw, unfiltered truth. And on that night, Harry and Meghan weren't in sync. He played the role of solo prince. She tried to hold on to their image as a power couple. Compare that with William and Catherine. At public engagements, their timing is seamless. A glance, a touch, even the rhythm of their steps all reinforce their togetherness. In contrast, Harry and Meghan's awkward exchange revealed something deeper. Two competing agendas. Harry seemed determined to re-establish himself as an individual, a humanitarian voice in his own right. Meghan, on the other hand, still fought to keep her place in the spotlight, unwilling to be seen as secondary. On its own, the moment might seem small, but in the context of their ongoing struggles, failed Hollywood projects, harsh media criticism, and whispers of tension, it felt like a glimpse into something bigger. Because their entire appeal, especially in America, was built on being a team. The exiled royals who turned scandal into opportunity. Together. If that unity falters, what's left? Harry, the prince seeking to reclaim his identity. Meghan, the actress, fighting to hold on to relevance in an industry that's already closing its doors. And this isn't just speculation. Their Netflix deal has stalled. Meghan's podcast with Spotify was quietly cancelled. Meanwhile, Harry's work with veterans and mental health organisations continues to earn him respect. The balance of credibility has shifted, and audiences are noticing. That one charity fundraiser clip, replayed millions of times, gave people a rare look at the disconnect. The smiles couldn't cover it. The handshakes didn't fix it. For the first time, the cracks in the castle walls were clear, and once seen, they're impossible to unsee. Meanwhile, the monarchy has leaned heavily into symbolism and stability. William and Catherine's recent public appearance in Southport was a masterclass in this. Together, they honoured the memory of 3 young girls lost to tragedy, unveiling a playground in their names. William spoke with steady authority. Catherine radiated quiet strength after her personal health battle, and the crowd responded with admiration, not gossip. They represented resilience, service, and continuity. the very qualities the monarchy depends on to survive. Contrast that with Harry's situation. When he recently flew to the UK, he only managed a 54-minute meeting with King Charles. By comparison, William spent several uninterrupted days with their father in Balmoral, reportedly discussing the future of the crown. The message was clear. William is being groomed as the leader. Harry is on the outside looking in. And that brings us back to Meghan. For her, the frustration is understandable. She entered royal life expecting to be a central figure, not a background player. She wants equal billing, equal recognition. But the reality remains, Harry is the one with the title, the bloodline, the symbolism people still respond to. That imbalance, never fully reconciled, comes obvious in moments when the script isn't rehearsed. Because in marriage, and in branding, small moments reveal bigger truths. That fundraiser stage wasn't just about who held the microphone, it was about who controlled the narrative. Harry, perhaps more than ever, seemed intent on reclaiming it for himself. Meghan's hesitation and retreat spoke volumes about her place in this shifting dynamic. And as their public story unfolds, one thing feels more certain. The fairy tale is harder to maintain when the cracks are this visible.